If you had met me when I was 8 years old, you probably would not have imagined me standing on a stage like this. Back then, I was simply just a curious little girl looking for something new to try. Then one day, I saw two people wearing masks, moving very quickly towards each other and holding what looked like swords. I could barely understand what was happening, but I just couldn't stop watching it. It looked very fast, unusual, and just slightly mysterious. That was my first introduction to fencing. Yes, the sport with swords. I wasn't looking for bravery, confidence, or any big life lessons. I simply thought that it looked really cool. What I definitely did not know was that this one small decision would change the way how I understood fear, failure, but also confidence. When my first training session began, I quickly realized that fencing was not as easy as it looked. Even the basic position felt strange to me. I had to bend my knees, stay balanced, and move my feet in a very specific way while thinking about my hand, distance, and my opponent. While everyone else seemed to know what they were doing, I was still trying to remember which foot should move first. I moved too early, reacted too late, and sometimes attacked when I should have defended. It was very frustrating, especially when I thought that I had finally understood something and then just did it all wrongly again. That was the first challenge fencing gave to me, learning how to be a beginner. In fencing, there are 3 different types of weapons: foil, épée, and saber. Each one has their own rules, target areas, and styles. Training was one thing, but competitions were completely different than that. During training, I could stop, ask questions, and just try again. In a competition, there is a referee, a scoreboard, people watching, and an opponent waiting right in front of me. Some were taller, faster, and more experienced. Once the referee said fence, there was no time to keep thinking. I lost points, matches, and I remembered that I went home feeling very disappointed in myself. But every match still taught me something. A mistake could reveal poor distance, hesitation, or the level I still needed to reach. Gradually, losing stopped feeling like proof that I was not good enough. It became a part of learning. At the end of 2025, after experiencing both foil and épée, I decided to challenge myself with the third and last weapon, saber. Saber is very fast and explosive. One point can finish within seconds, which means that there is very little time to hesitate. A saber fencer needs quick reactions, strong stamina, and the courage to decide under pressure. That challenge was exactly what attracted me to it. Instead of avoiding it, I wanted to see if I could learn it. That decision brought me to Valor Fencing Academy, where I began training under our former Olympian, Coach Yu Penkian, and the Valor coaching team. The coaches focused on fitness, strength, stamina, discipline, and the correct mindset. After repeating the same footwork a lot of times, my legs would sometimes feel so tired that I wish training would end just a little bit earlier. Usually, it did not. Even then, I had to concentrate, control my movement, and keep giving my best effort. Those difficult sessions slowly changed me. My body became stronger. But the bigger change happened in my mind. I learned that feeling tired did not always mean I had to stop. Feeling nervous did not mean I should avoid the challenge. And making a mistake did not mean that I had failed completely. Before a competition, I still feel nervous. When I step onto the piste, my body becomes tense. Inside my mask, my breathing sounds louder than usual, and my hand grips the saber more tightly. Then, the referee calls us forward. On guard, ready, fence. The nervous feeling does not magically just disappear. I simply have to move despite it. That helped me understand what confidence actually means. Confidence does not mean having no fear, always winning, or never making any mistakes. Real confidence is feeling nervous and still taking the first step. For a really long time, I thought that confident people were simply born that way. They seemed naturally brave, comfortable speaking in front of others, and unafraid of trying something new. Fencing showed me something different than that. Confidence is built through experience. Each time we face something difficult, we collect proof that we can handle more than we thought. The first competition may feel terrifying. The next may still feel scary, but it is no longer completely unknown. With experience, the nerves may remain, but we can become better at managing them. The same thing happens outside of sports. A student may feel nervous when presenting a class or joining a new school. Even adults feel nervous when starting a new job, speaking at a really important meeting, or making a very big decision. We often tell ourselves that we will begin once we feel more confident, right? But confidence usually comes after we begin, not before. Looking back, fencing did not suddenly turn me into a confident person. Instead, it gave me many small opportunities to practice courage. Training taught me how to continue when something felt difficult. Competitions taught me how to manage pressure. And mistakes taught me how to recover and try again. And most importantly, I learned to trust myself. That trust did not come from winning every match. It came from knowing that even when things did not go well, I could always return to training and improve. The 8-year-old girl who chose fencing because the swords at school would never have imagined where that decision would lead her to. She didn't know she learned all 3 fencing weapons, chose saber, trained under amazing coaches who kept pushing her to become stronger, and one day stand on a stage to talk about confidence. Fencing taught me that we do not have to wait until fear disappears. We only need enough courage to begin. The first step may feel awkward. We may make mistakes or discover that we are not as good as we hoped. Confidence is not something we find while waiting. It is something we build by trying, learning, and continuing. So, if something feels difficult, do not ask yourself, am I confident enough to do this? Ask yourself, am I willing to take that first step? Because confidence does not have to come first. Sometimes confidence is what follows. Thank you.